The Apuan Alps, towering over the Tuscan town of Carrara. From a distance, the mountains look like they're covered in snow. But the white crest running along Monte Altissimo is part of the mountains themselves, white marble mountains, Carrara's pride. This gorge and the peaks around it are one of the world's greatest sources of marble, and much of the region is involved in the business of extracting it. Carrara's marble has been celebrated for thousands of years. The mountains provided Michelangelo with his material, and long before that, provided the raw materials for sculptors in ancient Rome. Diamond-studded cables slice through the stone. The water ensures the cables don't overheat. Far fewer people are needed today, as motors have replaced muscles. Saws with giant teeth and other technology were developed to feed industrial supply, not Michelangelo's successors. A quarry like this can cut and dig more than 2,000 tons of stone every month. Up until the 19th century, marble was used only for art. But now it's fashionable for corporate atriums and swanky bathrooms. Blocks of marble are loaded onto heavy trucks like any other cargo. Most of it, 80%, is ordinary, veined, white marble. But artists working in the tradition of Michelangelo are interested in the statuario marble. And that's only a tiny fraction of what's quarried. For artists and builders alike, getting any marble used to involve a colossal amount of effort, contributing to its prestige. Blocks were cut by hand, using simple tools that made quarrying painfully slow. Massive chunks, weighing up to 6 tons, were encased in wood to protect them, and then dragged downhill by teams of oxen. It was Michelangelo who tapped the mountain's great potential. This plaque commemorates the many trips he took to Carrara. In the mountains above the town, he found a good supply of statuario marble, known for its translucent quality and slight golden hue. Gabriele Rovai, a third-generation sculptor, is working with the prized marble.
Seeing a sculpture in statuario next to another is like seeing a healthy person next to a sick one. One is vibrant with life, the other is anonymous.
Artists complain that in recent years, statuario has become harder and harder to find. With less of the marble available, prices have quadrupled in the past 5 years. So even when a vein is discovered, the costs are often out of the artist's reach.
Big companies buy a lot of blocks, so they can buy at a discount. But sculptors just buy one block because they're just making one piece, and so they end up paying more for the same block.
This is Turkish white marble being shaped by an artisan at Studio Sem. The artisans operate the tools, working to the artist's designs and under their supervision. Norwegian sculptor Knut Steen ensures that his work is properly executed. Steen has lived near Carrara for 20 years and says the large construction companies have hijacked the marble industry at the artist's expense.
Now they can take out more marble in 1 year than they could take out 100 or 1,000 years before. I mean, you see, the capacity today is so great, but the problem is to find the real statuario marble. There's not very much of that.
Keara McMartin is listening for resonance. A ringing means the stone is free of flaws that could show up in carving. She says her job of selecting marble for the artists at Studio Sem gets tougher by the day.
The mountain produces all of this calcium carbonate that boiled up and formed the mountain, but as you go in, there are pockets of the statuary marble? Well, those pockets are beginning to appear less and less as they go deeper and deeper into the mountains. So over time, that marble will disappear.
In the town of Carrara, the marble industry is king. In the past 30 years, it's become a centre not just for supplying the white marble, but for expert stone finishing as well. Costly high-tech equipment and hundreds of stone finishers are employed cutting and buffing. Carrara's port now brings in more marble than it ships out. 1.8 million tons of stone came in last year. That's 20% more than was exported. A block of granite being unloaded from a Dutch ship. The stone from Brazil will most likely end up as a luxury floor. All sorts of material from around the world arrives daily in Carrara. Stone has made the town rich. There's not only income from the port, but the companies mining Carrara's 188 quarries pay licensing fees that bring in $10 million each year. There's additional money to be made in stone cutting. Huge investments in high-tech machinery allow the stone to be dug and cut within hours, meeting increasing demand. Yet as the volume of business has grown, Carrara is beginning to realize that it may not have an endless supply. "30 years ago, 350,000 tons was mined each year. Now it's more than 1.2 million. Even Carrara's mayor, Luigi Segnanini, says it may be time to slow down.
With this new technology, we're cutting marble like butter. So from 1.2 million tons, it passes rapidly to 2 million, 2.5 million. So the mountain would be destroyed with an environmental impact that's not sustainable.
Mass-produced figurines on sale in Carrara. It's not difficult to spot the difference between ordinary marble used in these ready-made sculptures. Artists say ordinary marble looks dull and lifeless compared to the rare statuario marble. Sculptors say there's no imitating statuario, the way it reflects light like human flesh does. Michelangelo recognized the stone's inimitable qualities. That's why he made so many trips to Carrara. But artists today are finding it more difficult to get their hands on the famed statuario. In the 5 centuries since Michelangelo worked here, countless sculptors have followed in his footsteps, coming to Carrara in search of the master's marble. It's always seemed like an inexhaustible resource, but it's now up to the people of Carrara to ensure the mountains and their legendary rock will have a lasting legacy.